Welcome to the unofficial start of summer. Hope everyone enjoyed their holiday. Try to make this brief. I trust that everyone's been following our COVID-19 updates as they come in from the county, the CDC, the state. If not, you can always go on the CDC website or the state of Ohio's website to look at some of those updates. I would like to encourage everyone on the call to get vaccinated and to encourage those loved ones and ones not so loved to get vaccinated. And as I say that, I'd like to offer you two more East Cleveland pop-up vaccinations. One is 6/9 at Shaw High School. It's June 9th at Shaw. And the other one is June 11th at the Salvation Army. Again, get vaccinated. I'd like to remind everyone that we, as part of our response to this pandemic, have been doing a food pantry on a bi-weekly basis, and we will continue to do so. We've added meat, that's beef, turkey, and support to the distribution so that residents could get protein. Some of you may have heard, well, before I go on, if you know someone who needs to get on that list for a food pantry, please call 681-2211 and we'll put you on that list. In regards to the CARES Act, not sure if everyone has been made aware, but we were finally given our award letter as to the American Rescue Plan Act. The award number is $13,319,660. That is the first round. So over a 2-year period, we'll be getting a little over $26 million. We kept our fingers crossed for the high number, understanding that, and I say this all the time, I don't take my car to the mechanic and then tell the mechanic what to do. I don't go get prescription glasses and tell the eye doctor he doesn't know what he's doing. There are a number of finance directors got together and came up with those alternative numbers that we were floating around earlier. And I'd rather use a conservative number. Can everyone who's not talking mute their phones, please? Simple, mute your phone. We're not talking. Councilman, anyone on the line? You can hear an echo. We're not talking. Yeah. Mute your phone. At any rate, so we got the 26 million. We're still waiting for that to get in. Now that we've gotten the notification as to what we'll be receiving, I would like to reach out to council and set up a mayor's special council meeting to invite you all in. We will try to have it in the courtroom, right? We'll put in all the parameters for COVID spacing and all that, sanitize and all that, so that we can meet in person, so that we can talk about this. What I would ask of all the councilors, please go on the Treasury's website and read their guidelines as to how this money can be spent. Let me say it again. Read the guidelines as to how this money can be spent. Please don't show up once we schedule this meeting and ask about a grocery store or a swimming pool with this money, right? So please go on the Treasury's website and read it, and we will look to schedule a meeting. The continued resurfacing of Euclid Avenue, I'd ask that all be patient and drive with caution as Euclid Avenue continues to be repaved. The contractors kind of got ahead of the water repair down towards Noble. So we're waiting for some more water repair work done down there that we can finish Euclid up. slated also for this year, Lee Road from Euclid up to the Cleveland Heights border, and Superior, from Superior and Euclid up again into the Cleveland Heights border. So the entirety of Superior will be done in East Cleveland, and the entirety of Lee Road will be done in East Cleveland. I'd like to thank our county council rep, Cheryl Stevens, and I'd like to thank the county executive, Armin Budish, for all their support that they've had for this city and this administration over my time here. Again, please be patient, drive with caution. I'd like to advise all on the call, we're having a teletown hall this Thursday to talk more about the American Rescue Plan Act, the finances that the funding that we've got, and some of the things that we plan on doing with it to the residents. So we have a teletown hall this meeting. I will go into the chat and put the dial-in number on the chat so that anyone on the call can write this number down and save it for this Thursday at 6:30. 6:30. Council President, that concludes my report, unless there's any questions or concerns thereof.
Does anyone have any question for the mayor? Well, Mr. Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question, and that question is, you're saying you're going to meet with council, but you're going to have a town hall meeting, and you're going to tell the people in the town hall meeting what you're going to do with the money before you meet with council. That's my question. I don't understand that. When is the meeting with council going to occur?
So we would like to look forward to scheduling a meeting with council. What I plan on doing Thursday is outlining what the Treasury says the money can be spent on, and then outline to the residents some of the planning that we've been thinking about through the administration as to implementing the funding around what it can be spent on. So meeting with council, yes. We'd like to meet with council, and I ask council, please read it so that when we talk, we can have an intelligent conversation.
And
Ms. Gowdy, you have a question?
Yes. The question is, the mayor should be giving us that letter, and so we can see the letter for ourselves. And we need to get our own guideline, because the mayor needs to meet with the council. The council is over the money, really. We supposed to be making sure that that money is spent and going into the right direction, and to have plans for that money, not the mayor. The mayor don't need no plans. We have to tell the mayor what we want with this money, where this money should be going. And the residents and stuff should be included with the plan. And that's the way I'm just overseeing it, because last time when the money came in, the money was spent before we even knew where the money was at. It was already spurged out. And we have to be careful how we use this money. Council, I had talked to a couple other council people. When their money come in, they're all going to meet together of other cities and do the same thing. They have to monitor the money. And like I said, we have to tell the mayor where that money should go. And it is a guidelines, and we're going to have to read about the guidelines, and we have to watch where every penny go. That's what I have to say.
Madam President, I have a question. If I could ask a question, please.
Go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, I want to thank the administration for Euclid. Looks so much better. You feel proud to go down Euclid. I want to thank you for that. My only question to Brandon is the round things that you drive when you drive down Euclid, the round and square things. They're going to put
Hold on.
I think we all know who that is doing that. Can you stop that?
Who's doing that?
I think we all know who's doing it. Can you stop that, please?
Wow.
Oh, can I speak again, or I don't know what's going on. My phone is off. I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
You need to finish, Mr. Martin. Go ahead.
Okay. What I was saying, thanking the mayor and them for Euclid looks so much better, and I'm when I drive down, I feel real good about it. My only question, Brandon, is the round things that, like when you're driving down, you hit the bumps. Are you gonna put a little more asphalt around them? Because would it come back and kind of put something around that? That's my question to Mayor Brandon King.
Got you. Thank you, Councilman Martin. So again, I ask everyone to please be patient, drive with extreme caution. So yes, the sewer holes, sewer grates are sticking up because they have to come back and finish the resurfacing work. It will be level once they finish resurfacing it. Right now, they're waiting for some more water line work from Cleveland Water on Cleveland Water System to be completed. Yes, they will finish those. I would ask that you drive with caution and kind of map out where the trouble or the high ones are and kind of go around those.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Clerk.
Next, we have receipts of communication and petitions. We received an opinion from the 8th District Court of Appeals, Smith v. Gowdy, Stephen, and Martin. We also received the 2020 City of Cleveland Water Quality Report. And we received a request for proposal from the Finance Department for the exclusive towing services. Also, to go along with that today, we also received additional information for that RFP, and that included a towing service addendum, the order confirmation for the advertisement, and also a copy of the ad. And so that, which the councilors did receive, and there's also a hard copy in your boxes. Our next regular council meeting will be June 15th at 6:30 p.m. And we'll get the reports from the council committees. Councilor Smith, do you have a report for your Personnel and Appointments Committee?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, people of East Cleveland. The Personnel and Appointments Committee is responsible. The Personnel and Reports, the Personnel and Appointments Committee responsibility is to look at personnel in 9 city departments: finance, fire, HR, IT, police, law, building and housing, service, and community development. In November 2020, Council reviewed department staffing needs in its budgetary hearings. What came out of those hearings were the fact that the city is short-staffed and relies upon outside professional services to fill many personnel and service needs to serve the people. The Personnel Committee last met on May 6th. We had a special meeting. Before that, the Personnel and Appointments Committee met on April 27th. There were a few unresolved issues, including ordinance number 30-21, which is an ordinance to amend 123-08 of the East Cleveland Codified Ordinances to increase the applicant pool for fire and police chief positions. We will be discussing ordinance number 30-21 on the next upcoming Personnel and Appointments meeting, which will be June 23rd at 6:30 via the Zoom platform. I hope that you can all make it. As I say each and every time, the committee meetings are very, very important. Madam Clerk, that concludes the Personnel and Appointments Committee meeting. Committee meeting report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Smith. Next, we have Councilor Gowdy, Contracts and Property Committee.
Yes, my next meeting is, the contracts and property meetings will be June the 3rd at 6:30 PM. And I am going to be talking more about the bids has been going out for the tow truck. It have not been bidded out. I heard that it's supposed to be in the newspaper now, but, I have concerns about that because we need to have that before my meeting. It shouldn't, I hope that we have that before my meeting. And also about the traffic camera. How much money is we raking in for that? And how much is we raking in the contract? Who did the contract on the tow yard? That did not come before council either, and how many employees we got there. And I have a lot of concerns about the contracts and property. And a lot of people I see that's moving into the homes and in East Cleveland, but I don't have any idea of, who these people is. They probably bought the property or whatever, but majority of these people is they buying property, but they not coming through East Cleveland. So I want to see if we can get into that to find out who owns these properties out here, so we'll know who's in our city. You wake up and you see neighbors just walking up and down the street, going into this house that, that looked like it wasn't for sale, and you didn't see no for sale sign, but they there, you didn't see no for rent sign, but they there, so I need to know what's going on with the property. And far as the contracts, I need to see more contracts, because a lot of people saying that they have contracts with the city, but I only seen a few contracts that we did not actually approve. So, so that's something that I'm looking forward to talk about in June the 3rd at 6:30. Thank you. That's my report.
Thank you, Councilor Gowdy. Next, we have Health and Safety Committee. Councilor Martin.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I had an opportunity a couple of weeks ago. The police officer took me around and I checked out 4 or 5 of the vehicles that the police have been driving, and our vehicles have high mileage. So I'm hoping that as a body that we get our police officers the 2 vehicles they're asking for. Also, the gun buyback program, we do have people turning in guns. So it's working. The gun buyback program is working. And just a side note to that, the gun situation in America is totally out of control. There's too many guns on the street. So the focus, with the help of you guys, the focus of the gun buyback program is to get the guns off the street. So get the word out there. All the council people, most of them put up money to help get some of these guns off the street. And we see that as a win-win situation. I also need to say that our police officers definitely need the 2 new vehicles. I did, again, check out the vehicles. I took time, about an hour, and looked at them thoroughly, and the mileage is very high. I do think we might save them with Euclid Avenue and being paved a whole lot better. So I hope that saves us when we get the new vehicles. And the last thing is, the next time the Health and Safety Committee meets, not by Zoom, the next time the Health and Safety plan that we
I think that's very disrespectful.
Councilman Gowdy, can you please mute your mic? Councilman Gowdy, please mute your mic.
Do I need to repeat the last 30 seconds or what?
My mic is.
Okay, I was saying the next time Health and Safety Committee meets. We plan to be meeting in person in the courtroom. So make a note of that. We definitely need the vehicles. I had a chance to look at them. I thank the police for taking time to show me. And it's high mileage. Madam Clerk, that concludes health and safety. I don't have when is our next health and safety meeting, by the way, Madam Clerk?
That's going to be June 10th at 5:30 p.m.
Okay. Thank you very much. That concludes health and safety.
Thank you, Councilor Martin, excuse me. Next, we have General Service and Administration. Councilor Austin.
Greetings. Thank you very much, ma'am. I do appreciate it. Greetings, everyone. The General Services Administration Committee is responsible for providing oversight of all matters related to the streets and sewer improvements, street cleaning, waste collection, disposal, bridges, underpasses, all matters pertaining to the service department and its equipment. All matters concerning to the water supply, sewage, telecommunications, public utility rates, and so on. Also railroad operations and the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. During the last meeting that took place on May the 20th at 5:30 p.m., we discussed some legislation pertaining to the granting several variances so that the Shaw High School students can get a brand new stadium paid for by the Cleveland Browns owner. That is a personal check from his personal account for $1 million to help the city of East Cleveland continue to grow and develop. Also discussed an ordinance pertaining to the lease purchase of vehicles for our police. I guess those are the two vehicles that the 2 Ford Intercepts that Councilor Martin discussed that he wants to make sure that they actually receive in the near future. We also discussed legislation to allow the mayor to resurface a portion of Shaw Avenue, which is a split purchase between the county and the city, and also asking for additional $10,000 above what we previously agreed on, and the dollars will come out of the Community Development Block Grant Fund as opposed to the general fund. We discussed repairs and upgrade of city buildings, which we didn't really get to discuss too much because we were heavily into the discussion of the previous legislation. Talked about some of the seasonal service department updates and the fact that some areas within the city did not get, certain large items recovered. And for that, I asked that we continue to contact the service department, Mr. Marshall, to assist us in getting those items if they have not been recovered since our last meeting. I will give Mr. Marshall's phone number in 1 second. There were no exceptional issues other than we want to plan another cleanup. So more to follow on the date for the next cleanup event taking place in the great city of East Cleveland. Let me pull up Mr. Marshall's phone number again. Bear with me for 1 second. He wants to be contacted on this cell phone number, and it is 216-659-1179. That's 216-659-1179. If you have anomalies or outliers, if you will, for large items that have not been recovered and mass amount of tires that have been displaced and or a dump that someone has done recently. So subject to your questions and or concerns, that is all I have for General Service and Administration. Madam Clerk, if you'd be so kind as to let me know what the date is for the next General Service Administration meeting, please.
That's going to be June 17th at 5:30 p.m.
And that will also be a live meeting taking place in the council chambers or the courtroom as we know it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Austin. And next we have the Finance Committee, Councilor Stevenson.
Finance Committee met last week, actually, I believe. We had 3 issues that came before us, 2 of which, I'm going to keep this short so I can keep my voice, 2 of which were moved forward to the tonight's agenda, I believe. And the other one is still in committee, and that has to do with the fire that was last December. And the request for additional information that was submitted. Our next meeting will be June 8th, and hopefully, even though, and I see that Daryl Moore is on this call, I've been advised by Willa Hemmons that it may not be June 8th when they conclude how much money is technically owed to the city for this product. So you may want to talk to them about that. But at any rate, the Finance Committee is going to meet on June 8th. It is my intent to get this out of my committee. And that's the bottom line. Our next meeting is June 8th at 5:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Stevenson. We have no proclamations or bids at this time, so we'll go to legislation. The first is Resolution 28-21, a resolution to accept the fiscal year 2021 action plan encompassing a CDBG budget of $1,151,499 and a home allocation of $273,411 and declaring an emergency for the public health, safety, and welfare. This is
I'd like to also co-sponsor this legislation.
okay. This is requested by the Community Development Director, sponsored by Council President Reverend Stevenson, and Councilor Austin. You would like to co-sponsor it as well?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a second read.
Council Clerk,
Yes.
I think we forgot something.
Okay.
I think we forgot to read.
You want to read the announcement first?
That document into the record.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Sure.
Madam Clerk,
Yes.
I'd like to be a sponsor on this also.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. I have an announcement that was provided to me by Council President Stevenson to be read into the record. After the meeting, I will forward this via email and also place a hard copy in your mailboxes tomorrow. East Cleveland City Council announcements. Item 1. Over the past few weeks, I have received several requests. The first is a request from Neighborhood 1, who is requesting that general fund and other dollars be made available to them for the repair of Brewster Road in the city. A grant was submitted to the State Capital Improvement Fund District 1 Public Works Integrating Committee in 2020 for the repair of Brewster, Mount Vernon, and Newberry Drive, which was not funded. The chair of Neighborhood 1 has advised that the grant will be submitted this fall and that the mayor's office will bring that process forward. Neighborhood 1 is requesting funding to repair Brewster Road this year. Based upon the application, it may cost more than $300,000 of the general fund. As the chair of the Finance Committee, it is my recommendation that the funds in the amount of $7 million be set aside and utilized to repair all streets and sewer systems in the city of East Cleveland. Funds from the American Rescue Plan, which clearly is suitable enough to facilitate the repair of 45 streets and Brewster Road, should be utilized for this effort. Item 2, I was contacted by Daryl Fields about a project that is slated to start on Euclid Avenue. I gave him information to contact the clerk so that he could present his information to the entire council.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're going back to resolution 2821. Should I read it
Yes.
again?
No, I think everybody's good with that, I think.
Okay, so we have Councilors Austin and Councilor Martin are requesting to be co-sponsors on this legislation, 2821. And again, this is a second read.
Madam Clerk and Madam Chair, if you don't mind,
I need to pass the gavel to Ms. Gowdy.
Yes,
Madam
this,
Clerk and Madam
this-
President, if you don't mind, can I request that resolution number 28-21 be read over for the benefit of the people?
Sure.
what?
Because we had the pause that was not on the agenda, I humbly ask for our great clerk to reread resolution number 28-21 for the benefit of the people. That's all.
Resolution number 28-21, a resolution to accept the fiscal year 2021 action plan encompassing a CDBG budget of $1,151,499 and a home allocation of $273,411 and declaring an emergency for the public health, safety, and welfare. This is requested by Community Development Director, sponsored by Council President Corey and Stevenson, Councilors Austin and Councilor Martin, requested to be co-sponsors. This is a second read.
Ms. Gowdy.
Yes, let's bear your name. This resolution bear your name. What is your pleasure?
This is an annual submission for CDBG funds that come into the city in various components, such as home, some street repair, some painting, and things of those nature. You all have received the information. And my recommendation is that we move this through. Thank you.
Okay, Madam President, Victoria, any questions? Anybody else have any questions?
Madam Chair, this is Melron Leach. If I could say something, I would like to, as far as this resolution.
Yeah, you can say so.
We have talked to HUD, Columbus HUD, and cleared it, and this resolution would be okay. However, after speaking with the mayor and receiving his blessing, we would like to make sure, and we thought that the law director had sent down the change to add back the other items that were part of this resolution, just for transparency, clarity. And I want to explain it. I don't want to be long, but I just want to make sure you understand why and what we're trying to do. After
we already, Madam Clerk already had read the purpose of this grant. But we in discussion of going to get ready to vote on it, but you can go ahead.
So there is some gray area that deals with this resolution.
Excuse me, point of order, excuse me. So did Madam President move for its adoption? Because I didn't hear that language. I just want to make sure everything is done right. Did she sponsor and move for its adoption?
No.
Can we please follow policy and procedure before we move on with the discussion? Please. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for answering.
Excuse me, Madam President.
I move for the adoption of resolution 2821. The sponsor, I sponsor and adopt. I
Thank
have,
you.
I have a
Thank you.
problem here today with all this talking.
I second the motion, please.
That's not a motion, Mr. Martin.
What was it? You said move and adopt, didn't you? That's what you said, move and
You're
adopt.
making a motion. Is there a motion on the floor?
Yes, and it's properly
What
second.
She said
Is
move
there a
and adopt.
motion?
That
Right, that's a motion.
I said sponsor and adopt.
right, and I said I second it.
Anybody else? Call a roll,
Okay, I think,
Madam President Clerk.
sure, if I can just get
Finished
some,
with discussion?
Yeah,
if I can get some clarification with Director Leach. Director Leach, are you saying that this particular resolution needs to be amended?
Yes,
Okay,
to include back the CARES Act of 110,000 in the resolution. And my reasoning for that is there is, and I want council just to make sure that we are all on the same page and that we're being transparent. So there is gray area that exists within this legislation, I mean, within the CARES Act and how it is adopted. In the documentation that I sent to you, that's a memo from HUD, on page 2, bullet point 2, it says that any additional funds should be accepted as a whole into what the other funds that came back that were there. So for us, then that means that they said, how do you accept those funds into the city? There is nothing in the charter that says that it has to be there and that council has to vote on it. There's nothing from HUD that gives us, they said, hey, you have to rely on what your charter says, but there's nothing in the charter that says that it has to be done. But in having clear transparency, we want to make sure that we're all aboard and make sure that everybody knows that we are actually receiving the additional $110,800 in CARES Act funds. And we will amend our 2019 action plan in IDIS. That's just a procedural step that we have to do in the computer system with IDIS. So I wanted to make sure that that was done as well.
Yeah, because I know I guess the next thing would be either
So-
amending this or making a vote. And when it's
excuse me,
time, I'd like to make a motion.
Counselor. I have a question to ask Maron. Is this the same CARE Act money that you had for the other fund that was over $1 million? Or is this a new one?
No,
Over the
no, ma'am.
money?
This is the 657,000. That was the 657,000 that we used that's going towards rental assistance, food assistance, economic development. So that's part of that CARES Act money. This is separate than the other money, $3 million that the city received before.
Okay, because all funds are supposed to come before council. You know that, right? Before you start spending, right? Every penny, every fund.
So that's
So
what
know. What? Excuse me? Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. When the regulation came in, when the regulation and the guidance came from HUD, it said that you are to accept the money or take the money as a whole from the first round of money that you received. So we asked HUD for guidance, and HUD says you have to refer to your charter. And there's nothing in the charter that says that you, within receiving additional money, and maybe you can tell me where it says it at, but regardless of that, if it is to do that, then we're saying let's put it into legislation that we're accepting that the city accepts and council agrees to accept the additional 110,800. That's why we're just trying to make sure.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I will accept all the money in the world, but I'm just saying, but to come before council to spend it, that's where the problem is at. When we accept it, y'all spend it, and we don't even know where it actually, I mean, who actually got benefit from it, you know? And we find out at the last minute, and we find
It will be
out
the same
sometimes,
as what we had from
but
the
we
first
just, we don't,
657,000.
but we don't want the same routine because council be in the dark of a lot of this money is being spent out. So we do not want to be in the dark no more. We have to find out through the grapevine, and it should never be like that. So
It was my understanding.
we're gonna accept the money, but we do not want the money to be spent in any kind of way. We want to monitor the money and making sure that the money go into the right hands of the people. Because we've been
Miss Gowdy,
Yeah.
I know Mr. Martin's got a motion on the floor, but if he's asking for this to be revised, then it needs to be pulled. Mr. Martin's motion needs to be recalled so we can get this right and get it over.
Can I make a motion? You know, we can make a motion to amend resolution 28.
President, I got a motion on the floor, Jude.
There's a motion already on the floor,
The
Mr.
motion is
Austin.
already on the floor.
Okay, my question is based on what Mr. Leach said, does it have to be up, do we have to have an amendment?
Yes.
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 Okay. So I'm willing to amend it that we get to $110,000 he spoke about a few minutes ago. That we
110, 800. As an amendment.
Okay.
Okay, that's my amendment. Hello?
Second.
Excuse me.
That was the motion, I'll second.
Excuse me, who's that talking? You was not just, I mean, been recognized for one thing. Everybody just can't talk. Go on, Councilor Martin.
Okay, I'm saying that I'm willing to, I'm offering an amendment that we accept the $110,000 that Mr. Leach just talked about. That's my amendment.
10,800, Councilor Martin.
But there's, Mr. Martin, there's more than that to amending this. You also have to amend the 2019 action plan. So
Okay,
this needs to really go, it really needs to go back so that they can fix it
It gotta
and
go
bring
back.
it back. That's all. So
So
that
we
we
gonna-
got the right information in front of us.
So what we want to do, go back, take it, what we want to do, Council President?
We need you to remove your motion.
Recording in progress.
We need to back this up. We need to back this up so that they can, so that the law department can make the appropriate adjustments and bring it back on the 18th.
Right.
Okay, Madam President.
May I
Hold
be
on. Point of
recognized?
order. Point of order. Councilman Martin doesn't have a motion on the floor. Councilman
He
Martin
did
does
have a
not have
motion
a
on the
motion on the
floor.
floor.
He did have a motion on the floor.
No, he
Mr.
didn't.
Smith?
No, he
Yes,
didn't.
he did. Yes,
moved to
Councilman Smith, you was not
Excuse me.
recognized.
I have a point of order.
You was not recognized, Councilor Smith. Please, Councilor Martin did have a motion on the floor, and we do have to back this up because we will not be discussing this at all.
What did he have a motion on the floor to do? What did he have a motion on the floor to do?
I put an amendment on it, Mr. Smith. I think you were going in and out. I did add an amendment to the motion.
Before
But
that.
Okay,
Before that.
Excuse me, both of y'all can, Councilor Smith, you cannot interrupt.
Do I have the floor?
No,
Yeah.
can I just say, would everybody please check and see if their phone is muted?
Mine is muted.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because
Okay, because
echoing.
To move this forward, so if we can get this done, maybe not today, I'm willing to
Right.
withdraw my motion or amendment.
yes.
Yes. I'm willing to withdraw it so we can get it done right. So I'm willing to do that, Madam President.
May I
Okay,
Councilwoman
that's
Gowdy, can I make a
fine.
Thank
comment?
you.
That's
Thank
fine.
you. Thank you, Mr.
That's
Martin.
fine.
Councilwoman
Madam
Gowdy, can I make a
Chair?
comment?
Madam Chair, Willingham, may I be recognized? Madam
Councilwoman
Chair,
Gowdy.
Councilwoman Gowdy? Hello?
I hear you. I hear you, Director Hemmons. I don't hear anybody else. This is,
Everybody,
I hear y'all.
okay.
I hear y'all. I think they may have gotten muted to have a discussion beside the sidebar, if you will. So
I sent the amendment down a couple, about Thursday, I believe, because I got some information from Brian White and the Community Development Chair. So you should have it in your email, the amendment.
is that the amendment of the action plan or the amendment of this particular resolution?
The amendment of this particular resolution to include the 2019 amendment, as well as the $110,800. I think I sent it down Friday, which probably too late to get into this agenda. But
Okay,
I
can
think you
confirm that with our clerk?
yeah, it would have been Thursday or Friday.
Always hot shit.
Councilwoman Gowdy, can I have a second of your discussion, if you will?
When I
Hello?
Can we, Ms. Gowdy, can we move? Do what we
Councilwoman
gonna
Gowdy,
do
can I,
here?
before we dispose of this legislation, can I have a comment, if you will? Hello?
I hear you, Councilor Austin.
Okay, great. Well, I guess I'll just talk since somebody's muting her mic for. But with that, as we take a look at this particular piece of legislation, according to the law director, she sent the amended information to the council office. I want to see if we can confirm or deny we actually received that, or I don't know if that's a message that haven't been checked yet. If it had been checked and we can say that she had made the adjustment and we just have not received the updated piece of legislation, as well as the document, the 2019 action plan needs to be adjusted, had been adjusted by the administration, then we can actually do either bring that piece of legislation down, the updated from the law director, or we do an amendment at this point, so we kind of keep these things moving in the right direction, because I know that we all know that these are these things that we've been fighting for to get the residents, to get the residency repairs on their homes and so on and so forth, rental assistance and other things that, you know, it's time to take action on.
Yeah.
So if you could check that out, see if we actually received that update, and we as a body should be able to make a decision based on the new information.
This information is already being pulled, Councilor Austin, so it'll have to hit the 18th agenda.
And I don't understand why we continue to push stuff around when we have the resolve at the time when we need it. I'm a team player.
Because of deadlines, Mr. Austin. And I just received information that says that there is no email. I'm not sure. And this is not, we're in a meeting here. We're trying to get through legislation. I don't have a clerk to spend time doing this at this time. So we need to be able to do what we need to do and move on to the next piece of legislation, please.
I'd like,
Gowdy.
Yes, you hear me?
yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
I'd like to
I'm gonna
add,
pass the gavel back to President Stevens, because I was off the phone, just got completely off this phone, and I just got back programmed. So y'all was in discussion. Any more discussion before I pass the gavel back?
Yes, there's some more discussion. If you
Okay.
would,
Go
thank
ahead.
you very much. We were discussing the information that we received from our law director, saying that the information that would have amended the document that we see before us has been submitted to our clerks via email on Thursday or Friday. And I think she just, if I overheard some of the background information, saying she may have sent it again. Email legislation only requests the next I couldn't read that, so it came off the bottom of my phone. I couldn't see all the small print, but nevertheless, we have the opportunity to either vote on this legislation with the information having been amended based on what we see today, or accept the law director's amended piece of legislation, which I'm sure she can send it all to us right now, and we move this document forward in a way that kind of makes sense to the benefit of those who have been waiting for the repair for their homes as well as the rental assistance. So that's my recommendation. Thank you.
All right. Any more discussion?
Yes, the date and question of the emails. So did we get that answer? Was it Friday, May 28th?
It was Friday, yeah. Yes, I think it was too late to get on the agenda. But because I didn't get the information from Brian White until I think late Thursday or Friday. So then I sent the amended 2821. And so the agenda was probably already prepared, you know, because it was being done so in a timely manner.
Okay, so go ahead, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Okay, Madam President,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
We're when they bring forward the correct document, that's what we'll put on the agenda on the 18th, and that's what we'll pass.
Okay, so we were we going to move this out the agenda now.
Yeah, we're gonna let them amend it.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So I'm going to pass the gavel back to you.
Thank you, Madam
All
Clerk.
right.
I would like to ask with Resolution 2821, the amended resolution, if Councilors Martin and Austin would still like to be listed as co-sponsors.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Yes.
I'll be a co-sponsor, please.
Thank you, councilors.
All right.
Next, we have Resolution 29-21. This is an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into lease or purchase agreements for the acquisitions of city vehicles for use by the police department, 2 units of the 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe 4x4 PPV vehicles, including upfit packaging, $15,425.35 for $107,428.70 in total on the terms and conditions reflected in Exhibit A attached here too. This is sponsored by Councilor Juanita Gowdy, and this is a second read.
Councilor Gowdy, this
Sponsored by-
resolution bears your name. What is your pleasure?
Well, I still need information about insurance, full coverage insurance on all vehicles. And I need, because we do not need, really, we wanted to do, because a lot of our cars and stuff is getting tore up. So if we can some of those cars be saved? Because we just bought new cars and all that. So, I really asking for insurance on all the cars that we have, that the police officers is driving, the fire department, everything. We need insurance on these cars. Full coverage.
I'd like to co-sponsor this legislation.
Madam President, I'd like to be a co-sponsor of this, the vehicles for the police also. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I also have to say that this is requested by Mayor Brandon L. King. Excuse me.
Okay, and I'm asking the mayor, did he get full coverage insurance on these cars before we even think about purchasing anything? I mean, we be buying up cars and keep buying them, and they keep being tore up with less than a year or two. So we need full coverage. So if the mayor can speak and ask, I'm asking a question, do you have full coverage on all these cars? And definitely the
Mayor
ones that the
King.
police is driving and the ones that we're trying to get now.
Mayor King,
Yes, Council President, thank you.
you have a
Council-
response?
Yes. So we've gone over this at length, and I don't mind going over it again. It is extremely difficult, if not impossible, for a police department to get coverage on police vehicles. I believe
Why?
last time that we had this conversation, right, we talked through that, and you're simply not going to find somebody to offer coverage on the vehicle itself, because you think 7,000 runs is what we do fire and EMS, we do at least 10,000 police. Now, our police chief is on the call. He can speak more to it in case I got something wrong. However, before he does, I would like to just make mention. This is a health and safety issue, and I would, as well as the police, as well as the residents of our great city, appreciate it if a co-sponsor could pick this up and move for its adoption. It's a second read.
I
This
mean,
is health and
the
safety,
first read
and
was
this
just as
is-
bad.
Mr.
It's
I
Mayor.
mean, we
Mr.
wasn't getting no
Mayor, Mr.
results
Mayor,
with the
Mr.
first
Mayor.
read. That's what I'm saying.
This is a second read.
I mean, even if it's a second read, we still didn't get the same. I mean, we answered the same question because we know how serious it is if our police officer get out there and hurt somebody, chasing folks up and down the city. All across, they be in neighborhoods where they ain't supposed to be at. You already know that, Mayor King.
Councilwoman, what I would ask
It's
you
a
to do,
high risk
Councilwoman
for these
Gotti,
cars right now. It is.
Councilwoman Gotti, what I would ask you to do, call the insurance company you use. Tell them you want to insure police vehicles.
No, you need to insure these police officers. Let them
I
get
gave
insurance
you
on
an
the cars that
answer.
they
You're not
drive.
accepting my
That's what you
answer,
do.
So call them.
I mean, if
I
they want to
gave you an
drive
answer.
all crazy like this up and down the street, Mayor King, they need to be insured. Then we need some insurance on them. They need to get their own insurance on them. Maybe they'll think before they even start driving crazy.
It's good.
Is there any
Thank you,
other
Councilwoman.
discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I intercede here for a second?
Go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Okay, we've had insurance issues for years, and the police and the fire, we make a lot of runs. We're one of the more busiest municipalities in Cuyahoga County. Our police need good vehicles. They need safe vehicles. I share a story. There was a chase that took place about 4 or 5 days ago before the holiday. And I got a phone call on it. So I talked to the police officer about it, and they exercised discretion with the guy who was running. He wasn't paying attention, and he ran into a pole, and he ended up having to go to the hospital. But the thing that I liked about it was discretion was used by the police. The police called off the chase because it was a lot of people in the area. We have to make sure that our police officers have good vehicles. Now, I checked out, I did my homework on this, and we haven't had any new vehicles in the last few years, maybe 2-3 years ago. I did some homework on this. I'm not finished speaking yet. Let's exercise some common sense here and get these vehicles. This insurance thing has been something since going back 20 years. So I'm just putting that in there for you guys to think about it, give it some cognitive thought. Thank you.
The chief has
Again, we need to
raised
pass
up-
legislation for these police
Can I make
officers
a
to
comment
get
too?
their own insurance if they're going to be driving like they are driving. The life of the people in their life is in danger. If we can't do it one way, we're going to have to do it another way. They just can't continue getting cars to tear them up. And that's exactly what they've been doing. That's why the cars ain't been running now.
Councilor Gowdy, Chief Gardner has his
Can
hand
I
up.
make a comment too?
Yes, Chair, am I recognized?
Go ahead, Chief.
Thank you, Madam. Just a couple of points. As Councilman Martin has expressed, we have actually not had new vehicles since we've had one vehicle purchase, I believe, in 2017. Prior to that, we have not had any new purchases again since I've been chief or even acting chief. The vehicles simply are old. They are not. The issue is not police officers wrecking them. The issue is not the careless driving. The issue is that the vehicles simply are so old that some of them are in excess of 100,000 miles, which are completely unsafe for any type of safety vehicle to be utilized at over 100,000 miles. Back to what the mayor was speaking of, I know of no insurance company that will carry police officers. That's the first question any insurance carrier will ask, is whether or not you are going to be using it in a public safety manner. And if the answer is yes, I am not aware of any insurance carrier that will insure. And if they would, I would venture to say that you are going to be spending more money than we possibly could afford to have an insurance company carry it. So I appreciate the time.
Just say something.
And did we get some millions of dollars for the CARE Act money? I mean, we got to do something. I mean, we got millions of dollars, 2 point something million. We just got it for the police.
I'm not aware of any money specifically allocated to police. Maybe the mayor could speak on it.
Okay, tell us about the CARE Act money that we just got, because I mean, we really have to do something different because we getting the same results. Every time when y'all get in the police cars, they be flying up and down these streets, going into other cities, hurting other people. We got a lot of suits. I mean, a lot of people is suing us. So how much suits?
If I could ask, what party has the police harmed? You keep referring to the police driving recklessly, causing injuries. I'm not aware of any injury that the police has caused.
You ain't gonna be aware of it because you know what they be doing, and I know what they be doing. I be seeing them. Sometimes I have to move out the way too, for my own safety. So, I mean, you already know what they do. Everybody see what they do. So ain't no sense of us having this conversation like this, like you don't know. So don't play with me.
Councilwoman, I'm not playing with you. You're
yes, you are, because you
of,
already know that they go into other cities. They driving reckless out here, and they need some insurance. I mean, they need some real insurance on them. They cannot be playing, because if they hit somebody, run into another city, tearing up other cities, that's gonna cost us. That's gonna come back on us, like it always have been.
Councilwoman, the only thing I can retort with is we are in a dangerous period here. Again, that's why I offered council to come tour the fleets. We have one vehicle completely disabled by a drunk driver. Most of the accidents that have occurred at other offenders' responsibility, and we are down to essentially our last 4 patrol-worthy vehicles, and it's getting to the point that if we do not act, then we are going to have serious repercussions.
With the CARE Act fund that we got for the police department, I already know that we had got money for you. And we should utilize this money wisely in buying all these cars and tearing them up. Within you saying that we just got cars in 2017, but we already had cars before then. Even before I even got on council, they got new cars. So I don't know.
Can I make a comment, please?
There was some cars purchased in 2019 at that last meeting in December. They passed I remember they passed some resolutions with regard to cars, but for me, that's not my issue. I guess I'm looking at all of these cars that are on the agenda, and I thought there was a presentation done and there was 6 cars being requested or something like that. And now I see them all broken down on the agenda into 2x2. So
Council President, there was, I believe, legislation passed
And
in
they scrapping
2018.
them like
December.
it's nothing. Where's the money? How much money we get from y'all scrapping all these cars and all this other stuff?
So if I
However,
could
You
jump
said you
back
had a
in,
car
Chief Gardner, go ahead.
Council President, I was just trying to address your concern. You had a concern. I do believe legislation was passed in December of 2019, but those vehicles were never purchased. I believe we were attempting to get a lease that did not work out. And so those vehicles actually were never
Gowdy is
purchased.
rude as hell. Ghetto.
Okay, well,
whoever
that makes me feel somewhat better, but nobody ever told us that.
Right.
Okay, can I make a comment, please?
Go ahead, Councilor Austin.
Thank you. I got 2 quick notes. There was, I remember that little van that was being replaced because it broke down on the way to deliver some food. That little paddy wagon that we have parked right outside of the office near the mayor's vehicle. That was a successful purchase, and I do appreciate it. We even got the one with the upfit and the insert for the prisoner safety, if you will. So we have been getting some stuff, but when it pertains to the patrol vehicles for the police, I think that's where we may be not differentiating what is necessary. And I heard the chief say that this is absolutely necessary right now, because if we got 4 vehicles right now and the police is necessary to come by your house to help out, you don't want the one that's coming on a bicycle or having to walk or jog. You don't want to continue to compromise the city's safety. And if we don't, pass this legislation, then we continue to compromise that city's safety for the benefit of $1. And if you have the resources available now, which we may not in a year, I think it'd be a good time or prudent action to take right now. And for that, I would like to sponsor and move for adoption resolution number 29-21 as is.
A second.
Hello, can you hear me?
I
Yes.
can hear you loud and clear.
I'll co-sponsor that. We don't need to delay.
Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me why this stuff was split out when it was in a group the other day? Now it's all split out.
I don't remember it being split out. I remember being two Tahoes and then 2 of the intercept vehicles, and they were like that just the other day on the agenda, exactly the same way they are right now. There was a
Because
master list.
I got 6 vehicles on the agenda.
Right, and that's okay.
I thought it was so what was it the other day? There were 6 vehicles the other day?
Can I share? I'm gonna give you a little bit of background if you allow me, man.
Well, I don't need a lot of background. I just need to know,
just a
did
little
we
bit.
approve 6 vehicles at the last meeting?
Negative. What came up, we were discussing over last month, the consolidation of the leases that we have right now. Instead of having 5 individual leases, the mayor's plan was to consolidate those into one master lease. And that listed a whole lot of vehicles, the ones that we currently have on lease already. So Mayor,
So wait a minute. So wait 1 minute. So now you're telling me that we already have vehicles for the police department that we have leased?
I ain't say police. I ain't say nothing about police. I said the master list of leased vehicles that we have, they include the service department. I don't know if the police vehicles is being leased. There's a building and housing vehicle. So Mayor King, if you would be specific as to what that, because I don't have the master lease in front of me. That is a effort to consolidate some of the leased vehicles onto one document as opposed to having 4 or 5 documents for
All right.
our folks to look at.
I'm done.
I can elaborate if need be.
Clerk.
Call the roll, please.
Are we ready? Okay. Councilor Stevenson?
I can't get an understanding of this. No, I need some understanding. I can't go
Councilor
back and
Gowdy?
forth like this.
Councilor Gowdy? Did you? Councilor Gowdy? You're muted. I can't understand your vote. Councilor Gowdy, are you there? Councilor Martin?
We voting for this legislation, is that correct, Madam Clerk?
Yes, 2921.
Yeah, yay.
Councilor Smith?
For the safety of the people, yay.
Councilor Austin?
For the safety of the people, yay.
Resolution 29-21 has passed.
Thank you, council. On behalf of the
Thank you.
police and the residents of the great city, thank you.
Could everybody please check their phones and put them on mute, please? Thank you. This next ordinance 3221 was replaced by ordinance 4121. So we'll move past that and we'll get to 4021 shortly. Our next resolution is resolution 33-21. A resolution authorizing the mayor to sell certain inoperable surplus vehicles through auction to scrap dealers or to sell the salvaged city vehicles through competitive offers, and if none is forthcoming, to junk pursuant to appropriate health.
I'm on mute. I am on that.
Councilor Rowdy, could you please mute your phone? Thank you. If none is forthcoming, to junk pursuant to appropriate health and safety regulations in order to provide for a safe access upon city workspaces. This is requested by the fire department. This is sponsored by Timothy Austin, Councilor at Large, and this is a second read.
Oh,
Councilor Austin, what is your pleasure? This resolution bears your name.
I'd like to sponsor resolution number 33-21 and move for its adoption.
I second.
Clerk, call the roll.
Any discussion?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some discussion, but it hasn't gotten anywhere.
Yes,
I
we just
asked
need to
them-
displace some of this damaged
We
vehicles.
asked,
That's it.
we asked a couple weeks, well, actually, I think last month, that's why this is still lingering. We asked for the location of these vehicles. The only ones I see are the ones down on Shaw. So, discussion?
Again, some of the vehicles, I think I mentioned, they were actually parked in the service department up near the garbage, the former garbage transfer point. And some are, they're parked in multiple locations. And, you know, I asked the council to actually get up and do some due diligence as I had to go out and find the location of these vehicles. So more to follow, and I do appreciate the council's support and, you know, helping us get our space a lot cleaner than it should be with items that we no longer have any use life in it. Thank you.
Can we call the roll?
Clerk, call the roll.
Councilor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy,
Yay.
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Smith,
Yay.
Councilor Austin.
Yay!
Resolution 33-21 has passed. Next, we have resolution 34-21. This is a resolution confirming the mayor's appointment of Reverend David Hunter to the East Cleveland Civil Service Commission for the term expiring December 31st, 2027. This is requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Ernest Smith, Councilor Ward 3, co-sponsored by Nathaniel Martin, Councilor at Large, and this is a second read.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'd like to sponsor resolution number 34-21 and move for its adoption.
Discussion.
Second,
Discussing.
I
second,
second that motion if I can. Thank you.
To co-sponsor this legislation also.
Councilor Austin, did you say you want to co-sponsor the legislation?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Is this the one that, yes, Madam Clerk, is this the one that we supposed to have a Republican on?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a Republican?
Or an independent?
Do we have a
Madam-
Republican?
As of this day, we do not have the third.
Well, then we really
individual.
can't move forward.
If I can interject here, the seating of these two people meets the State Board of Review recommendation for seating a commission. And so you don't have to seat all three members at once, but there is a push to get a Republican or an independent or some other political named institute on to this commission. But the commission will be in effect and it will be operable once we pass these resolutions this evening.
Thank you. We've been going over this particular pieces of legislation and this particular piece and all legislation tonight since April 23rd. So it's been sponsored and moved and seconded and discussed. With that being said, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Councilor Stevenson?
Yay,
Yay.
yay.
Councilor Gowdy?
Nay.
Councilor Martin?
Yay.
Councilor Smith?
Yay. Yay.
Councilor Austin?
Yay.
Resolution 3421 has passed. Next, we have Resolution 35-21, a resolution confirming the mayor's appointment of William Underwood to the East Cleveland Civil Service Commission for a full term expiring December 31st, 2027. This is requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Ernest Smith, Councilor of Ward 3, and this is a second read.
Councilor Smith,
Thank
this
you, Madam.
resolution bears your name. What is your pleasure?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to sponsor resolution number 35-21 and move for its adoption.
Second.
Any discussion?
Basically the same as resolution 34-21. I hope everyone has read over each man's background, and also I hope we are keeping an eye out for a third individual to be placed on the Civil Service Commission. If there's no discussion, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Councilor Stevenson?
Well, hold up, Mr. Smith. Now, you're the first one to interject when something is out of order. And right now, we're going out of order.
I apologize.
So,
I apologize if I went out of order. I didn't hear any discussion. Accept my apologies.
well, that's fine. Thank you. But take a breather. Clerk, can you call the roll?
Councilor Stevenson?
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy?
Nay.
Councilor Martin?
Yay.
Councilor Smith?
Yay.
Councilor Austin?
Yay.
Resolution 35-21 has passed. Next, we have Resolution 36-21, a resolution declaring the month of May as being Mental Health Awareness Month in the city of East Cleveland, Ohio. Since 1949, May has been observed as National Mental Health Awareness Month. a time when advocates and activists draw attention to the mental health issues that affect our country. The East Cleveland City Council, through this action, conveys the importance of the community mental health support network and those they serve. This is requested and sponsored by Kareem C. Stevenson, President, and co-sponsored by Nathaniel Martin, Councilor at Large. This is the second read.
Ms. Gowdy, I pass the gavel.
Okay, this resolution bears your name. What is your pleasure?
This is the month of May, and in the month of May, the United States celebrates Mental Health Awareness Month across the country. And because of the COVID, I thought it was particularly apropos that we bring forth this legislation in light of the COVID-19 and the isolation that so many people have gone through, that has led a lot of folk into a mental disorder or needing some type of therapy that would relieve the pressures that they feel from not being able to cohabitate with their family and friends. Thank you.
Any more discussion?
Yeah,
Can I make a
Madam Clerk,
comment?
Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we have mental health issues, which is something that has to be addressed all the time. Even our police have to deal with that at times. And this was for the month of May, even though today is June 1st. So I'm in favor of it for the month of May, but we're in June now. I just want to make that point. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Could I
Any
make a
more
comment?
discussion?
Yes. Yes, I'd like to make a comment. If it is a national, nationally recognized month for mental health support, I'd like to make sure that this document does something other than just mimics what's on the calendar. We actually put forth some activity for next May that would help those that suffer in our community. And I don't want to just, obviously look at the calendar and say, okay, it's mental health month, let's write something. Let's actually do something for the residents that suffer. I've seen the flyer in our box talking about employment for the mentally ill. So I don't know if we can, kind of put that out there as a, opportunity. I don't have the flyer in front of me, but that was one of the things that I do appreciate that came out in the month of May, offering employment for folks that have mental illness and kind of help them get back on their feet. So I don't want to just pass this document for the benefit of having something on the calendar. I actually want to have a plan to do something going forward for our mentally ill residents. Thank you.
I would like to co-sponsor this.
Okay.
Mr. Austin, there are a lot of things
Yes, ma'am.
going on around mental health in this community.
I fully understand
there-
that. And
is there-
I
is there
also
any other
help and
discussion?
support and,
Any other discussion?
oh, thank you for cutting me off. I appreciate it.
Is there any other discussion?
I could co-sponsor this legislation. So if for next May, things work out, we can definitely do some things for our residents. I just have a mark on the wall with no action. Thank you.
Okay.
Any more other discussion? If not, call the roll.
Councilor
Madam.
Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy,
Yay.
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Smith,
Yay.
Councilor Austin.
Yay.
Resolution 3621 has passed. Next, we have Resolution 37-
I would like to, before you do that, I would like to pass the gavel back to President
Okay.
Stevenson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we have Resolution 37-21, a resolution granting several variances and conditional use permits in order to approve the repair or expansion of an existing non-conforming use for the improvement of the Shaw High School Stadium Complex located at 14305 Shaw Avenue, East Cleveland, Ohio. This is requested by Mayor Brandon L. King and sponsored by Timothy Austin, Councilor at Large. This is a first read.
Madam Clerk, I'd like to please co-sponsor this piece of legislation, please.
Okay,
Madam Clerk, I'd like to co-sponsor this also. Thank you.
Gentlemen,
I would like to co-sponsor it also.
all right.
thank you. Madam
I'll
Councilwoman.
co-sponsor too.
Okay,
Thank
Is
you,
there any
Councilwoman.
discussion?
Yes,
Councilor Austin, this resolution
Yes.
bears your name. What is your pleasure?
it's only a first read. This is only a first read. We can make it an emergency though, because they do need
Oh,
it
okay.
as soon as possible.
I forgot I was writing it. You're right, it is a first read. Clerk, can we move
Right,
on?
but they would like to have this legislation back as soon as possible. So if you want to, if
Okay,
everybody's in
okay.
agreement, we can.
Can
make it an
we
emergency.
move on, clerk?
next,
Okay.
yeah,
Can we talk about the? Okay, that's all right then. No discussion.
Oh, come.
I
No.
called for a discussion and y'all sat there and didn't say nothing. Do you have some discussion? I
I do.
asked you what was
I
your
do.
pleasure, Councilor Austin?
You asked me what was my pleasure, as if you wanted me to close this legislation and sponsor and move for its adoption, and I'm willing to do that if the rest of the council agrees, although it's only a first read. I said we
No,
would- Okay, great.
no. Is there
Yes,
something that you wanted to
yes.
tell us about this? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, this is for our new Shaw High School stadium. The Shaw High School administration, I guess I should say the East Cleveland School Board, has been working very diligently to improve the perspective of the education system here in the city. This stadium would open up many, many doors. And kudos to the owner of the ground, as well as the ground organization writing a check. This is the 10th stadium that they're writing specifically for the city of East Cleveland.
this is,
You know, when you talk like that, it comes up on the screen. That's between the two of y'all. So if you'd be so kind as to meet those two, Madam Clerk, I really appreciate it. But with that, the contribution from the Cleveland Browns organization is absolutely phenomenal. And if you get an opportunity, I would like for us as a council at some point to invite the engineer working on this project over to the council office or one of our meetings that actually show us what the future stadium would look like. They've changed everything from the gate to the bleachers, and it's obviously the field. So phenomenal opportunity in the city, and
Madam President,
Yes, Mr. Martin.
yes, I like to amend this to emergency. I think everybody's in favor of this. There's no need for us to delay this. So I'm amending it to an emergency so we can go on and pass this and move on.
I second.
Is there any other discussion? You have a motion on the floor. It's been moved and seconded.
Yes, may I have the floor, please? It'll be an honor to second this motion to move this.
It was already seconded by Mr. Austin, Mr. Smith.
No, I was the individual who seconded. Thank you. But now I'm in discussion. Thank you. It'll be an honor to second resolution 37-21 as an emergency. All politics aside, I know everyone on this phone is not about to play with the students of East Cleveland. Period. Our students need this. The community need this. Thank you to the Cleveland Browns. Let's move this as an emergency and get this started. I know in my heart, no one on this phone is going to say no to this. Thank you.
We're waiting on the roll call. Hello?
yes.
Waiting on the roll call.
Councilor Stevenson,
Councilwoman.
Council,
Madam Clerk, for the record,
Yay.
so it's stated for the record, my motion is to amend it to an emergency, please.
Mr. Martin already stated that.
All right, thank you.
And I did not even discuss it yet.
I call for
I had a
discussion.
discussion.
Are you you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I really thank God for this stadium that's coming, and I'm looking forward to everybody enjoying themselves with seeing the children and our Shaw High School people in the community to go somewhere where it's brand new, you know. So we moving forward in the right direction, and I'm just excited. So, you know, that's why I don't mind pushing this as emergency, because we need things in our city and we don't need to prolong it no longer. And I'm favoring this. Thank you, Madam President.
Is there any other discussion? Last call. Clerk, can you call the roll?
Councilor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy,
Yay.
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Smith,
Yay, yay.
Councilor Austin, Councilor Austin.
Yay.
Resolution 3721.
No. We did not vote on the resolution. We voted on the amendment.
That's what I was gonna
You
say.
didn't let her finish. Let her finish. Let her finish. I'm
Okay,
excited.
Councilor.
Resolution 37-21 has been amended to an emergency. Can we call the roll?
Yeah.
Madam Clerk,
Is there any
pass?
discussion on the resolution?
I'd like to sponsor resolution number 37-21 and move for its adoption as an emergency.
I'd like to co-sponsor.
Mr.
I'm just
Smith,
doing what I have to. I'm just doing
Mr.
what I have the
Smith,
right to do.
Councilor
Madam Chair.
Austin, I believe, did that already.
No. That was before it
Oh,
changed. to
Yes, he
Not
did, and
that
I
way.
co-sponsor.
Yes,
We all
he did,
co-sponsor.
because
It was before.
everybody co-sponsored it. You,
Madam
Smith,
Chair,
Gowdy,
that
and
was
me.
before.
Mr.
Put
Austin
egos
is
aside
the
and let's-
Mr. Austin is the
That
sponsor,
was
and I
before
called
it got
upon
changed
Mr.
into an
Austin.
emergency.
Why is you acting like
I
that?
was-
That was
Maria?
before it was
Mr.
changed
I would
into
like
an
to
emergency.
Mr. Austin is the sponsor of the legislation, and he had already done that, Counselor.
That was before. You know what? I want to do things right. That was before it got changed into an emergency. It changed it to an.
That's correct.
Thank you. I mean,
We
with all
still
you
want to
call
keep
the
this,
roll?
people
Okay.
still
With all
co-sponsoring it,
humbleness.
regardless of the
Oh,
fact.
man.
Councilor Stevenson,
with all humbleness
Yay.
and respectfully, we have to do things correctly. Let's do things
Mr.
correctly.
Counselor, we're calling the
All
roll
of a
now.
sudden, you want to do
Can
things
you let
correctly.
her call the roll?
Yeah.
Go ahead, clerk.
Okay.
Councilor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy,
Yay.
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Smith,
Yay, yay.
Councilor Austin,
Yay. And I
Resolution.
second for Councilor Smith. Great.
Resolution
Go
37-21
ahead.
passed as an emergency.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I figured no one would say no. I figured you'd change it to.
Point of order. Clerk,
Oh, my
can we move
goodness.
to the next resolution?
Could everybody, could they check, you check and see if, to mute your phone, please? Ordinance 38-21. Hey, Tracy, are you there? Okay. Ordinance 38-21, an ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to accept Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC, 2021 Energized Community Grant in the amount of $23,244. This is requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Corinne Stevenson, Council President, and this is a first read.
Go ahead, clerk. Go to the next piece of legislation.
Next, we have Resolution 39-21, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into lease or purchase agreements for the acquisition of a city vehicle for use by the Department of Service, a Silverado four-wheel drive crew cab work truck for a total of $64,986.64 on the terms and conditions reflected in Exhibit A attached here too. This is requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Juanita Gowdy, Council Vice President, and this is a second read.
Madam Clerk, I'd like to co-sponsor this for the Service Department, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
You also, Councilor Austin, correct?
That's correct. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I have you,
Councilman
Councilor
Martin.
as a co-sponsor.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
You can put me down also, clerk.
Okay.
Councilor Gowdy, this resolution bears your name. What is your pleasure? Councilor Gowdy, are you on the call?
What is Councilor Gowdy doing? You keep calling her and she disappears and she's holding this meeting.
Councilor, you be having problems too, so come on now. Come on
Councilor
now.
Gowdy, this
Get off my
legislation bears your
Yeah,
name.
you act like your phone is perfect.
Your phone is not perfect. I'm on a phone,
Point of order, ladies and
just
gentlemen.
bear my name, but I'm looking forward to having the service department to have good transportation. I will look out for them because they work so hard in our community. So to have good transportation for them is right on time because they really need it. So that's where I'm at with this. I'm looking forward to this to be passed because it's a need for our city. Thank you.
Sponsor move for its adoption.
Is there any discussion?
Second, if that was her sponsor moving it for adoption, I want to second that.
Yeah, I'm moving it for adoption.
Second, thank you.
The floor is open for discussion.
The service department need additional vehicles. This winter may be rough.
Mr. Austin, are you requesting to speak?
May I speak, please? I'm not.
You're recognized, Mr. Austin.
I'm looking forward to increasing the capacity of the service department so that when they, hit the winter storm and some of the large area cleanup, they have the capacity to haul the items away as well as perform the duties required to help us get to the next level. And I'm looking forward to this system helping us do that. Thank you very much.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk?
Councilor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy,
Yay.
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Smith,
Yes.
Councilor Austin.
Hey.
Resolution 39-21 has passed. Next, we have Resolution 40-21, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into lease or purchase agreements for the acquisition of city vehicles for use by the police department, 2 Ford 4x4 police interceptors for $40,906.30 each, for a total of $81,886.64 $812.64 on the terms and conditions reflected in Exhibit A. This is requested by Mayor Brandon L. King, sponsored by Timothy Austin, Councilor at Large, and co-sponsored by Nathaniel Martin, Councilor at Large. This is a first read.
Can you put me on this as a sponsor?
Okay,
A
I would like to
co-sponsor,
be.
I'm sorry.
okay,
Madam Clerk,
yes.
I'd like to amend this to an emergency. I had a chance to look at the police vehicles and we need vehicles and we don't need to delay this. So I'm amending this to Resolution 4021 to an emergency.
Okay, Councilor Gowdy, did you say you wanted to also be a co-sponsor? Councilor Gowdy,
Yes, what did you say?
did you say you wanted to be a co-sponsor also?
No, not on this one, because I feel like discussion, not on this one.
Okay,
Because
That
our
was
police
Council President.
do we have a second on the motion by Councilor Martin to amend it
Hey,
to an
second,
emergency?
I second it.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I'm still concerned about the insurance and the tearing up the cars in the past that we had. And the reason why the cars is all tore up because the way they are riding through the city. And I have seen them spinning in the middle of the street many a times and just having fun, just joyriding and doing stuff that they ain't supposed to be doing. But if we have insurance and stuff on that, I would actually, even on them, period, if they get their own insurance, if they have their own personal insurance, I would be comfortable of trying to pass this. But right now, I can't do it because a lot of lives is in jeopardy.
Is there any other discussion?
Madam Clerk, I don't hope not to be redundant, but our police and our fire need the best equipment. We have one of the most active police departments in Cuyahoga County, and we need, glad that we have the money to purchase these vehicles. We don't need to delay this. Thank you very much.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk?
Councilor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy,
Nay.
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Smith,
Yay.
Councilor Austin.
Yay.
Resolution 40-21 has been amended to an emergency.
Okay, I'm not the sponsor. Austin is, I could move to act on it or Mr. Austin, it doesn't matter.
Counselor
got it.
Austin, this legislation bears your name. What is your priority?
I'd like to sponsor legislation 40-21 and move for its adoption.
I second that motion, Madam President.
Is there any discussion?
No,
Is there any discussion?
no.
Clerk?
Well, Clerk, would you say that again? Could you read that again, Madam Clerk? I want to just hear it again. Say it again, because it's some kind of noises in the background. I can't even hardly hear.
What do you want me to read?
Revolution, the one that you just read.
The ordinance.
Oh,
Ordinance
the
4121.
Resolution 40-21.
It's an ordinance, not a
Ordinance.
resolution.
I'm sorry, ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into lease or purchase agreements for the acquisition of city vehicles for use by the police department. 2 Ford 4x4 police interceptors for $40,906.32 each, for a total of $81,812.64 on the terms and conditions reflected in Exhibit A.
I mean, wasn't that revolution, I mean, the ordinance, didn't we, didn't they just pass emergency for some cars?
Yes, that was on the previous resolution on the previous page.
Yeah,
They
so now
amended,
they want more?
amended it to an emergency, and so now
Okay.
they've done the same thing here.
Okay, okay, all right. Thank you, Madam
Sure.
Clerk,
You're welcome.
Madam
Is there
President.
is there any other discussion?
No, just like I said, if they have insurance on themselves, like I said, or full coverage insurance on the cars, I would be, I feel better about that, but they don't, so I can't pass something that's not gonna protect our city.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, clerk?
Councilor Stevenson,
Yay.
Councilor Gowdy,
Nay,
Councilor Martin,
Yay.
Councilor Smith,
Yes.
Councilor Austin.
Yay.
Ordinance 40-21 has passed as an emergency. Next, we have ordinance 41-21, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to resurface the area of Shaw Avenue from Hayden to Manhattan as originally planned, costing $635,000, of which $250,000 will be from Cuyahoga County, and an additional $150,000 of CDBG funds will be used, bringing the total committed by the city's CDBG funds $400,000, and bringing the total amount of the Shaw resurfacing project to $650,000. This is requested by Brandon L. King, Mayor, sponsored by Timothy Austin, Councilor at Large. This is a first read.
I would like to co-sponsor that.
Okay,
Madam Clerk, I'd like to co-sponsor that also. Thank you.
sure.
Madam Clerk, I'd also like to co-sponsor ordinance number 41-21.
Okay, Councilor Smith,
No need to have a new stadium without a new street.
not a new street.
Great.
We move
Thank you for your
forward.
support.
Are we, clerk, are we moving on 43-21?
Yes,
But can we do this without the amendment?
without,
No.
Ron Leach? Are you on the call?
Yes,
Are
I'm on
we
the
on-
call.
Can we,
Madam President,
can we move
40.
or hear 43-21 without the
All
amendment?
right.
Madam,
Madam Chair, may I be heard? Ms. Williams,
Can Melron answer this question?
I have some information.
Yeah, now I'm asking, what's the question exactly?
Because we did not hear,
Amended.
or
amended.
because we have to amend the prior resolution for your plan, can we still go forward with the Cleveland Housing Network and McGregor $100,000 piece because we need to amend without that amendment is the question. Can we move forward without that amendment?
The 2021 action plan on funds is part of this resolution, so we would need the prior resolution to be voted on.
May I,
Okay,
this
you
is
heard?
Willa Hemmons.
Did you hear it?
This is Willa Hemmons. May I be heard?
Director Hemmons.
May I be heard?
Yes.
I just sent the re-amendment to everyone, and it should be in everyone's email. At this
Last minute.
Okay, but we don't have that. And so what Melron is saying is that we can't go forward with this without that other piece.
Well, if you wanted to revisit it, at this point, everyone should have the re-amendment. the
What
re-amendment.
we will do is the same thing that we're gonna do with the other piece. We'll bring it back on the 18th for consideration and passage by the body.
Okay, you mean the 15th? June 15th?
Yes, the next council meeting, whichever
Okay.
day it is. So we
May
will,
I ask if everyone has received that amendment though?
I don't have time to check for an amendment. I'm in a meeting, so
Mm-mm.
I don't know about
Right.
anybody else.
Well, I'm in a meeting too, the same meeting you in.
But that's pretty much where, if we don't have one piece, this whole thing needs to be together. I don't think there's any objection to it. It just needs to be together. So that's what we're moving forward to. Mr. Martin.
Yeah, I think the key thing is you're right on point. Everybody's in favor of it, but let's make sure we're doing it right. So let's get it done right, so we don't have to go back to it again. So if it takes a week or whatever, let's do it right. That's the important thing. That's where I'm at. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be my question.
All right.
That's right,
Is there
because that last minute.
any other discussion?
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Well, I'm glad that you thought about that and the last
Ms.
minute
Gowdy.
stuff. Yes.
Go
Madam.
ahead.
Yes. I'm glad that you thought about that before we move forward in that, because this last minute stuff always messes up all the time. So I'd like to review it more, but you know, I'm in favor of it, but it just have to be done right.
Mayor King.
So
Yes, thank you for recognizing me. I do see that Ann Khan is on the phone. What I'd like for council to reiterate to council, because I know you heard this before, and then I want to ask Ann Khan, a lot of times when the city is requested to put in CDBG funds, it is because another government agency or another institution is putting in money and they want to see the city's commitment. So I want to make sure that there's no time, no deadline date that Ann and CHN may be up against where they need this thing passed. I've looked at Willa's email and Milram was right. So they put the number in there, but it does not change the other numbers. So the other numbers are what you see on your screen, and that is the $1,151,499 and the $273,411. Those numbers don't change. They were just adding another number to the preamble. So I'm not sure, that doesn't really change it much. Again, Ann, do you have a time constraint that you need this passed by?
Yes. Is it okay to speak?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Council President. At this point, we are awaiting the additional funds from the county, which have been committed, which is an additional $450,000 to the project, and they are unable to release those funds until we have the commitment from the city of East Cleveland. And so I think whether it's the formal vote on this, or even if it can be added to the minutes, if the council is in support of the project, they won't release their funds until we have some sort of documentation from the city that the allocation has been accepted.
At the very least here, council, if you pass this, that will be the city's commitment to the project. And then we can come back and sort out.
Well, but if that's the case, then we would have to rewrite this legislation too.
No, you don't have to rewrite this.
Because this refers to money and
units. This legislation reads correct. It's just that first one that you could actually pass as amended. And again, it didn't change the totals at all. But this one, if you pass this one, then the county would know that the city supports this project and the county would release those funds. So I'd ask that council could consider that, please.
Madam Clerk, Madam President.
Go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Okay, I don't want to hold the project up, and the consensus from what I'm picking up from all the council people, all of us, that we want to get this done. So if it's a matter of protocol that they can share this with the county, that we are in favor of it, I'm willing to move that we pass ordinance 41, is it 4121?
4321.
4320.
Second.
I'm willing to move adoption of 4321.
Second.
I don't see how we can adopt this without passing the first piece of legislation.
You should have that information.
Miss Willa Hemmings, I don't have that in my package, and I don't have it in front of me. That makes things difficult.
It's been moved and seconded.
Is on the floor.
Vice President Gowdy, what is your pleasure here? The cart before the horse.
My pleasure is at this time, we still have time because Willie Hemmings just gave us something at the last minute, like she always do, and
well, actually, I sent it last week.
Time on it.
I did send it last week. It's just that I guess it didn't hit your emails, but I did send the re-amendment, but I just sent it again this evening.
Director Khan, can we give you a letter of commitment until we get this thing done the right way?
Yes, that's acceptable. We just need to be able to demonstrate something formally from the city. And if the council is willing to do that, that would be acceptable. And I would appreciate that additional outreach. Thank you.
Will that satisfy the council if we give the McGregor home a letter of commitment with regard to this resolution until we straighten out the other piece so that we can do this correctly? And I understand that there's a motion on the floor.
Madam President, if the letter is sufficient, I'm fine with that. I just don't want to hold the project up. So if that's the consensus of the other ones, I can live with the letter.
And I can too.
Get it back.
And I can too.
Okay, then what I will do, Director, is I will draft a letter. Councilors, I'm going to ask that you each sign the letter so that they see that we're all on the same page, if that's acceptable.
That's acceptable to me.
That's
Mr. Smith?
acceptable to me.
Councilor Smith?
I can accept that long as any and all letters to these entities be signed by the council members. I know a lot of letters have been going out by just one individual.
I believe I stated that everyone would need to sign the letter, Mr. Smith. Mr. Austin?
I am in agreement with the majority of the body. So that's it.
Okay, so what will happen is I will draft a letter. I will get it to the clerks, and we will have it signed hopefully by Wednesday of this week, and I will deliver it to your facility so that you have what you need to take to the county.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Mr. Martin, I need you to withdraw your motion, and Mr. Smith, I need you to withdraw your second.
Madam President, I withdraw my motion. Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Smith?
believe excuse me, that was not me. That's seconding that.
Oh, okay. Mr. Austin, did you second that? I'm looking for the person that seconded that. Okay. Clerk,
Next, we have remarks and requests of the public. 3-minute time limit.
please introduce your name and your address. Are there any remarks of the public?
Council, can you hear me? Hello, Council.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Irby.
Okay. There's the section of law that pertains to East Cleveland. It's called the Ohio Law of Administration Rules. All vehicles pertaining to the city has to be insured. It's revised codes. If our law we'll check the revised codes stating every vehicle has to be insured in the city. My problem would be if an officer hits a child, if a fire truck smashes a car. It's a shame that you would put this to their insurance instead of the city being responsible for their own vehicle. That's almost asinine to say, oh, well, one of the officers hit a kid and now it's up to his insurance to fight the battle. That's not fair to him. He didn't come to work to use his insurance for your vehicles. A lot of this phone play is very disrespectful to hear as a East Cleveland residents. Y'all need to get this under control. We was pretty cool, and we're getting ready to go back to face. So a lot of this argument back and forth needs to stop. I'm done.
Are there any other remarks of the public?
Yes, I'd like to make a remark. My name's Kim. I'm a resident on Eddy Road. Someone alluded.
We need your last name and your address, ma'am.
Kim Crenshaw, 1212 Eddy Road.
Thank you.
Someone mentioned earlier in the meeting about houses in East Cleveland that are being occupied by random individuals. And I'd like to add to that there are houses being purchased in large numbers by one individual. And I'm just wondering if that's being monitored by East Cleveland, how many homes an individual is being allowed to purchase in East Cleveland, because they seem to be renting them to every low life they can find and bringing people into the city using Section 8 dollars. And it seems to be adding to the problems of East Cleveland, not correcting them. So that's my first comment. And my second comment is to piggyback on the last caller or the last comment the previous person made about how these meetings are being run. The passive aggressiveness, the rudeness, the snippiness of the council members at each other. If I ran a meeting like this with my employment, I'd be fired. It's really ridiculous. I feel like I know more what's going on than you guys do. The constant repeating things and going over things are making these meetings last way longer than they need to be. You guys need to get it together, because these meetings really reflect how the city looks, run down and in need of repair. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other remarks of the public?
Yes, Justin Anderson, 4436 Terrace Road. Yeah, I agree with that last resident. These meetings, I'm a little younger and I take this stuff serious, but this definitely is a comedy show for us, you know. So it's really, I'm professional also, but y'all need to get that together, because Y'all seem like a bunch of kids in the room throwing crayons at each other. And there has to be some sense of professionalism within our government. And she's right, this body of council does look like the city. And I don't want to go into what it looks like, but I'm sure y'all get the point. And also, I think it's crazy to say the officers should insure themselves or insure the vehicles. That doesn't even make any sense. But what we do need is for the mayor, who is the chief law enforcement officer of the city, to tell the police officers to stop chasing for stupid stuff like, oh, somebody ran a stop sign, so I'm gonna chase him all the way over to the west side, or we may even end up in Rocky River, because the taxpayers are paying for these vehicles that the officers damage, and the council buys more. So this council, whoever voted yes to buy more police vehicles, you're basically punishing us. I mean, why should we have to keep paying for more police vehicles because the mayor wants the police department to chase people all across the country? It's not fair to us. We don't have money like that. And of course, we're not going to be able to get full coverage insurance. You know why? Because when an insurance company look at the accidents and they look on the news and see 100-something chases and things like that, who would want to insure that? A department with those type of numbers. That just but y'all reward them. Basically, you just said, keep on chasing, tear them up. It's all right. We go buy some more. And it's just sad. So, like I said, I hope y'all get it together because we need some professionalism. This city is starving for a leader, not a circus. We don't want any more circusmen. That's it.
Thank you. Are there any other information from the public?
Yes. I'd like to speak. My name is Wendell Lovelace. I'm 15617 Hazel. And since we're on the topic of the police vehicles and insurance, I'm a resident. I have a young child living in the house, and I work in the city of East Cleveland, and I see people speeding all the time. And it's not the police I'm worried about, it's the people disrespecting our city. You can't have it both ways. You want the city police department not to function properly, but you want to put our residents at risk by allowing people to break the law and speed up and down the streets and put our kids at danger. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that the police officers can't get insurance, but are you gonna put our kids at jeopardy and not have a police department do what they were supposed to do? So it's a double-edged sword. Who are you more concerned about? Are you more concerned about your kids and the safety of the residents of East Cleveland? Because I love the fact that I can, hey, listen, something's going wrong. I can call 911 and they're here, Johnny on the spot. Right? Can't have it both ways. I mean, we're in a rebuilding stage right now, and it's going to take a minute to get to a point to where, hey, an insurance company would insure our police department. Right now, it's not there. So I would love to see the police department do what they're supposed to do. No, I mean, maybe they don't need to chase as many times, but also, do we need, young adolescent kids or young adults just treating our city as gang territory and just disrespecting it, putting our kids and our seniors in jeopardy, doing whatever they want to do in our city? No, I don't think so. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Are there any other remarks from the public? Hearing none. Mayor King, who is no longer on the phone. Mayor King, Councilor Gowdy.
I'm sorry, this is Willa Hemmings. Did everyone get the number for the tele-town hall meeting, which is at 6:30, June 3rd, Thursday, and the dial-in is number 855-756-7520, extension 74022. Thank you.
Willa Hemmings, you need to repeat that. You said it real fast. Repeat it,
I'm sorry.
please.
The next tele-town hall meeting that is being presented by the mayor is Thursday, June 3rd, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. The dial-in number is 855-756-7520, extension 74022. Did everyone get that?
Yes, thank you.
You're very,
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Mhm.
Extension number 1 again.
Madam President, I would like to go after you, before you.
Are we, Willa Hemmings, or have you completed?
Yes, and again, I would like everyone to check their emails for the reamendment of 2821.
Thank you. Mr. Martin, Councilor Martin.
Yes, can I speak right quick?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to, I gotta go. I had a 9, but I'm gonna be late. But I needed to say this. Thank everyone for attending the meeting. And we got some things done, and we got some things we still need to get done. So keep us in prayer. Yesterday we celebrated Memorial Day, and we have a long history in America, going back to the Revolutionary War in 1776. One of the first to die in that war was Black person Christmas addicts. Then we go up a few years to the most devastating war we've had in this country, the Civil War. 700 to 750,000 people were killed in that war. What was it about? Economics and slavery. So we have a history here. We need to be cognizant of that. And then World War II and World War III, people have died for us to have the freedoms that we have today. The Civil War was devastating because brother was fighting brother to enslave a group of people. And we're still dealing with repercussions of that right now. Our meetings are not perfect, but I think our major problem over the last 20 years in the city of East Cleveland is our tax base. Our tax base has not been strong, but if we get people to move in our houses and pay taxes, we can increase and get a whole lot done. So I want to emphasize that. Another plus for us, and I think we should be thankful for that, is the $26 million that we're getting in the city this year, that we, the council and administration, will work together to find out the best ways to spend that money. The CARES Act fund, it's a blessing. It's been a blessing for our city, so we need to utilize that. The police cars, our police must have good equipment, and I'm stand by that, and our fire must have good equipment. So we need to be focused on that. Again, I shared an example with you about a situation that happened 3 or 4 days ago on Terrace, where the police stopped the chase. The person still had an accident because he wasn't paying attention. But what we've been saying for a year about being cautious about chases is being internalized and is being acted upon. So I was glad to hear that. Our city has the potential to turn around. I'm good, and I feel real good, and I feel bullish about Euclid Avenue. We still got a little thing to do on that. Oh, but it looks so much better. So we are getting some things done. It's not a perfect world, and it never will be. So keep us all in prayer, and thank you for attending the meeting, and thank you for listening to me. God bless you all. Thank you.
Councilor Smith.
Thank you. We thank our Madam Clerks, my colleagues, every member of the administration. Most importantly, we thank our neighbors, the residents of East Cleveland, for taking the time out to join us on the Zoom platform. A lot of you have been joining us over the past year on the Zoom platform. I know most of us, and hopefully all of us, look forward to seeing you all in person in the council chambers. Again, thank you for caring about your health, interests, rights, and needs. What people have to understand that it's been a lot going on this past year. A lot of self-serving politics, a lot of trying to block projects and things of that nature for ones on self-serving needs. That must come to an end. The egos must be tucked. If you are making a mistake, you must be willing to accept someone trying to help. I need help every day, and I will accept help for the rest of my life. This is not high school. This is government, and we must do everything right according to policy and procedure. A lot of times around here, things are not followed. We recently we've had a lot of letters go out on behalf of council that all council members are not privileged of. There's a lot of legislation and things like that we know certain members is trying to block, from things like NOPEC, McGregor, the action plan. I mean, we've seen it tonight. The attempted holding up of the fixing of Shaw Stadium. So I do thank for everyone that stood up for our children. And again, as Councilman Martin said, pray for the great people of East Cleveland first and foremost. Keep us all in your prayer. None of us are perfect, and that's why we need you, the people, to guide us in our decision making, because our decision making affects you all, and our decisions should come from the decisions that you all put forth. So that's why I thank you so much for joining us. And just you can see what's going on yourself. I ask and I beg of you to join us on the committee meetings. They are very, very, very important. Sometimes just as more important than the regular council meetings. To our resident that expressed the dislike of what was going on tonight on behalf of every elected official in East Cleveland, whether they have something to say or not, I apologize. You know, council members and administration, well, council members, we here to debate on behalf of the people. I've seen a lot worse. As a longtime council member, former council member Ms. Walcott says, if everyone is on the same page and agreeing with everything and government, then something is wrong. So I hope that you all continue to join us at these council meetings, and really look forward to seeing you in person. And hopefully, when we get back in person, there will be a change in egos, a change in attitude, and also a change in leadership in council. Because right now, via the administrative code, rule 23B, I'd like to make a motion to immediately reorganize city council and remove Corinne Stevenson as council president for the health, interest, rights, and needs of the people. That's my
Second.
motion on the floor. Thank you.
Second.
Madam Clerk, my motion has been, on the floor and has been seconded. Please recognize my motion.
Clerk,
Yes, I'm here. I have a motion from Councilor Smith to remove Councilor Corinne Stevenson as president of City Council. This was seconded by Councilor Austin.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Councilor Stevenson. Councilor Gowdy. Councilor Martin. Are they there? Councilor Stevenson, Councilor Gowdy, Councilor Martin, can you hear me? Councilor Smith,
Yay.
Councilor Austin,
Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
yes, I can hear you.
Yay. Those folks are still out there. I'm looking at their information right now online. So I'm not quite understanding.
move on.
We got time.
Well, I'm calling Councilor Stevenson, Councilor Gowdy, Councilor Martin, they are not responding.
We don't have a quorum. We got to end this meeting.
We do have a quorum. We see you out there, and you don't. Your turn to speak is already over, right?
Councilor Smith. Councilor Gowdy.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You did exactly what you were supposed to do, and you followed the rules, and they don't want to answer. That's fine.
But I
All they
would
have to
like
do
to
is say
say,
nay.
I would like to say the last, I'm not removing nobody from no seat. Nobody. So it did
Okay,
fail.
well,
So move
vote
on,
nay. All you
move
have
on,
to do is vote.
Councilman Smith, move on. Move on.
Excuse me, Madam Clerk, I'm not about to go back and forth. All we have to do is
You
vote
sure
yea or
not,
nay.
because you the one need to be removed. You the one that took counsel and lied and said that we had illegal a meeting that when we was invited to be vice president and president, when we was signed to be president and vice president, you went to sue people and we took it to court and law. So
Can you vote,
anybody that
please?
need to be removed is you. And
Can you
also,
vote? Can you
both
vote,
of y'all
please?
need to be removed.
Thank you. Can you vote, please?
I don't have to vote.
Mr. Martin logged off
The
about
vote
10 minutes
failed.
ago, sir.
The vote failed.
Councilor Smith, Mr. Martin had logged off about 5 minutes ago. Remember, he said he had to go somewhere?
So the vote failed.
They were still on, but no problem.
And it
no
don't
problem,
matter
no
if we was on
problem.
or
No,
off, it
I
don't
thank you
matter.
all. Thank you all. No problem. Thank you all.
That's
no
right.
problem. God bless you all.
Politics.
Thank you. God bless the people of East Cleveland.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I guess I should state the status of the motion. The motion to remove Councilor Stevenson as council president has failed.
Well, we only had 3 people voting,
Right.
You didn't have me. I ain't even know nothing
Right, well,
about it.
only two
So you
people
didn't even have
voted.
me from the beginning. So I know you ain't
All
talking
you have
about.
to do is
You
vote.
always talking about politics.
No, let me call you right
You
back. I'm
always
still
putting the
unmuted.
politics. You always talking
I'm
about
glad the people can
politics,
see
but you
this.
the politic.
Madam Clerk, Madam
Hey,
Clerk,
can I say something?
Madam,
If we only got
Madam
three
Clerk,
people
I'm not.
on the line, can I say something before you end, Councilor Smith?
No, I
Go
mean,
ahead, sir.
it's
Thank
my
you.
If we only
turn.
got 3 people on the line, then the majority vote is 2. So that passed.
The majority vote is not true.
The
It
majority
takes
vote is only 2.
It takes three
It's
to
3.
4. The majority of the votes is 3. So what is you trying to do? Something that
It's
Councilor
only 3
Smith
people on
lied.
it's only 3
and
people on
he
it's only 3 people on the line right now, right?
And he lost. Councilor Smith lost the case. He lost
Somebody
the
feel like,
case.
but
Him
anyway,
and Willie Hammond done rigged up something. And then we got Loveless on the other end, King campaign manager, up there talking about children when he don't even live in East Cleveland. He got a house here, yes, but he live in Cleveland Heights. He made that clear. So I'm letting you know, yes, he might get mail here, but it's
you
politics
go on a lot of
all the
tangents.
way around. We got people that sitting in the audience that they're listening to how you is acting as trying to remove somebody when y'all need to be removed. All y'all need to be removed. And it's a shame.
Can I say something when you get done, please, madam?
Loveless is King campaign manager. And he got Roots Construction. You know, come on now. Y'all been robbing this city all this time and taking from this city all this time. Enough is enough.
The residents was just talking about this. All you have to do is
No,
say,
the resident ain't been talking about nothing. And you put it in the resident mind because we is tired of your bull crap because you even had strippers at your bar. So if anybody need to be removed, it's you.
All you have to do is say nay. Are you saying yay or nay?
I ain't saying nothing. I'm not in it.
Can I say something now?
You can say what you want to say, but I'm not in it. And I'm getting ready to get off this line right now because, like I said, it's foolishness. You talking about working together and you can't even work together.
Okay, well, I got a couple of notes I want to share.
You can share
It's
all the
my
notes
turn.
you want, Austin, and you got houses that ain't even supposed to be yours either. So all y'all need to be removed. And I am changing
So
my
again, let me tell you
count. I
something.
am changing
Let
my.
me tell you something.
No, and let me tell you something.
Let me share something with
You
you.
need to stop it. You need to
Let me tell
stop
you
it while
something.
you ahead. For some charges
So,
be brought up on
again,
you.
All right, Miss Gowdy, please. Thank you. All right.
we just start, having a moderate discussion that went off the rails because you have no self-control.
It went off the rail because you're trying to remove somebody that
I'm not trying to remove
really
anyone. I'm
didn't.
just trying
You
to be
got mad
clear
because you lost
about
a
the
case.
focus.
You already know that
I
Smith lost that
don't
case.
have nobody in.
He
talking to
took
Councilman
counsel to
Austin.
court and lost the case in a
You talking to
district
Councilman Austin
court.
right now.
Lied and said that we was falsifying, false, being in, I'm being a vice president, she being the president. He's mad. So now he trying to strike back.
But let me share. Can I share a couple of notes without being interrupted, please? Can I share a couple of notes without being interrupted, please?
You can do it on another day.
Let me stick with the facts.
No, because guess what? I got the garble.
You got the gargle?
I got the garble.
And this is our time,
right.
and it's Councilman.
It ain't your time. It's not your time for what, Smith? It's your time to go. That's the only time it is.
It's our time for
your
council
time to
remarks.
go. It's your time to go.
You know what?
It's your time to go.
Something?
You should have been gone.
Can I say
Point
something?
of order.
Are you done?
Of East Cleveland, a point of order. A
East
point of
Cleveland,
order.
point of order. I'm in charge.
Then close the meeting then.
Close the meeting, Council Clerk. Close this meeting. This meeting is closed. It's adjourned. Have a blessed night.
You don't do that like that.
Have a blessed night.
Can I finish making my response
Close
to
the
the comments
meeting,
from the public?
Council
Well, get
Clerk.
off, Ms. Gowdy. So it won't be a quorum.
It's gone.
Are we adjourning the meeting?
Did she
For
sign
the
off?
record, Madam Clerk, can you state that the vote, that it was 2 votes and the rest, and Gowdy refused to vote and the other 2 were not, well, Martin was not online, but I believe Stevenson was online, just didn't participate. Or however you see it, can you put it on the record? However you all see it from the clerk's point of view.
Okay, in regards to a motion to remove Councilor Stevenson as council president, Councilor Smith voted yay. Councilor Austin voted yay. Councilor Martin was no longer at the meeting. Councilor Gowdy did not vote. Councilor Stevenson did not respond.
Thank you.
When you look out there, she was no on the meeting either. But I'm done.
Go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, I actually wanted to respond to the comments from the public. I really wanted to kind of keep the meeting above all this extra stuff. And that didn't kind of work out because, the level
But that's
of.
important.
They need a quorum. There's no quorum on the line. It's only 2 people.
Okay, as Sergeant at Arms, there is one recognized person. The last person, I believe, Madam Clerk, if you can correct me, was Councilman Smith because he asked for a vote. Am I
Thank
correct?
you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Sergeant at Arms.
Councilor
Now-
Smith, unfortunately, you are down to just 2 counselors, and
no longer have a
Councilor
quorum.
Austin did not get to make his remarks to the public.
Yes,
It's okay. I'm okay with that. I can take it. It was not.
All right, but it was your turn and you didn't get to, sir.
Okay, but not to worry. Thank you.
I humbly ask that Councilman Austin address the people as he wanted to. And we have on the record the vote.
Well, unfortunately, sir, you're right, you have the votes, but now you don't have any, you do not have a quorum now. There's only 2 of you left.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm okay with going on with the rest of my evening. I appreciate you and God bless us all, and charge to my head, not my heart, because I am focused and driven so that the people may be okay. Good night.
It is 9:10 p.m. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Good night, people.
Good night.